See, I read an article first thing this morning as I was just waking up, an article from The Guardian, actually. It had been shared on LinkedIn, I think. And it was written by a psychologist saying the unsayable that uh, to say that the responsibility for or the solution to people's depression and unhappiness and despair and mental struggles, is always therapeutic or pharmacological, drugs or talking, is to ignore what we might think of as the elephant in the room. A lot of people get sick mentally in this system because the system is sick. People are scared because we are facing environmental catastrophe. I mean, something completely unprecedented. We are facing it. People are scared because we're facing a winter and they can't pay their fuel bills. Their kids are going to bed hungry. The solution to that is not take a pill, or at least that's only a short-term sticky plaster that we put over the gaping wound of the fact that the systems we live in are not fit for purpose. So to say mindset is everything, just change your mindset and change the world, is basically to privatize the failings of the system. Just as in the economic world, banks are allowed to make all the profits they want, but when they screw up, the taxpayer has to pay them out. We privatize their risk. So in the systems we live in, we burn people out. We drive people to the point of utter despair, and then we say, your responsibility, here's a pill to shut you up. Now, I know that's unfair. I know. I'm being doctrinaire now, in the same way as somebody who says that mindset or therapy is everything is also being doctrinaire. I'm reminded of the radical psychologists of the 60s, people like R.D. Laing and Timothy Leary, who not only pioneered, interestingly, the use of hallucinogenics to promote mental health, way before their time, but also I think it was R.D. Laing who said that mental unhealthiness or mental illness was a sane response to a sick world. Again, we might not want to use that particular language, but his point is really important. If you are struggling, it may be that the system that you are in is sick, and that is what's making you feel sick. So, is mindset useless? No, it's not. I would suggest that we can look at three domains for trying to deal with the struggles that many of us face on a daily basis. And the first is mindset. If I'm struggling with something, if I'm anxious or I'm finding it difficult to cope, asking myself what story I'm telling myself, how I'm seeing the world, stepping back from my thoughts, not identifying with my insecurities, all of those things, mindset things, are really useful to create some space so that the imminent crisis can back away. Mindset work is really important to enable us to get from day to day. That's one domain. Second domain is, if I continually find myself in a place of struggle and stress, then probably I'm living the wrong life. Probably I am not aligned to my purpose or aligned to my deeper needs. So that's a longer term change. I need to change how I live my life. Recently I did that. I sort of gave up a life of traveling, really, and I've moved to remote Ireland. There's a cost to that. I haven't got any food in the house and I haven't got time to drive half an hour to the nearest shop. Okay, I'll go hungry, no problem. There's a cost to long-term change, but if you are continually unhappy, you need to make long-term change. But there's a third domain. We are living in times that are inhuman. And some of the despair and the stress that we feel is not something that we should solve. It's something that we should channel into advocating for, demanding, and effecting change. What that means is up to you. It might be going on the street with a Molotov cocktail, or it might be joining a community organization. It might be going to make sure that your neighbor has got enough food to get her through the evening, or whatever. However it is you choose to channel your anger, be aware that some of the pressures that you are feeling are not because of some sort of mental inadequacy on your part that needs solving. Some of the pressures that we are all feeling is because the system that we are living in is not fit for purpose. And if you don't agree with me, ask yourself how in Britain, which I recently left, the sixth richest country in the world, millions of children are going to bed hungry and cold every damn night, while billionaires are building bunkers so that when the environmental catastrophe hits, they and their offspring will survive. If you don't think that's a sick system, then maybe you need to revisit your value system, because I do. And maybe I need to revisit my value system. Maybe that's just how the world is. So there we go. 3 domains. I just went on a rant. I didn't mean to go on a rant. 3 domains. What can you do right now to cope better? What can you do to create a better environment for yourself to live your life? And what can you do to change the systems or ameliorate the inhumanity of the systems we live within, so that you can also be making your contribution, your act of service to the long-term development of human decency and kindness? Decency and kindness towards others, towards the non-human world, and towards ourselves. I hope you have a really good day. Whatever pressures you're under, I hope you can step away from them and smile, and then do something about them. I send you much, much, much